Hey guys, what's up? It's NihonTiger. Welcome to Grid Autosport. This is the Super Lightweight Cup at Brands Hatch. We are racing at Brands Hatch in the Caparo T1. It is a super fragile car. Do not want to really beat and bang around this too much. So we're on the GP circuit, the full circuit. And Cody Harris is leading this thing. These cars require basically a lot of finesse. They're essentially nothing more than racing cars that are, I wouldn't really say street legal, because they're not really street legal. They're more or less just track cars. Cars you take to the track to go racing with on like a Sunday or something. And I'm in 7th on the first lap, so I made up 9 spots. I'm going to get another one here. Or not. And, oh, great. See, I mentioned this last time that the other guys can beat and bang on you, and they suffer no ill effects. And that's just another one of those instances where that happens. On my way, Kane Doyle, and that's my teammate. I guess it's not really my teammate now. It's kind of a free for all. So catch this Cody Harris guy. Yeah, these cars are definitely a handful, to say the least. Very powerful, rear-wheel drive machines. I believe, if I remember right, this held the unofficial Top Gear test track time at one point. I can't remember. I don't think it was official because it's not. Is it street legal? I don't even know if it's street legal. I'll have to check that episode again. I remember they did test this thing. It is a beast of a machine. And it's very, very hard to steer and control. Like, I am not trying to drift this thing at all. It's just doing it on its own. You just put a little bit of gas. And I didn't want to do that. Wanted to do that. Yeah, there we go. Get out of the way. You just hit the gas a little bit. You know, even feathering it, you can spin the tires on this thing and just send yourself flying. So you just gotta be really careful how you have this all set up, how you have this, you know, don't drive off the road like that. You gotta be really careful on, you know, when you hit the gas, how far you turn this thing, because it just likes to jump, especially since the track surface here is a little bit bumpy. There's a lot of little dips and jumps and whatnot. I've only got one flashback left, so I'll at least save that for the last lap, unless something awful happens here.
This race.
That's pretty good. Now I don't have anyone to bump into to slow myself down, nor do I really want to. But I mean, you don't want to bump into somebody when you have an open wheel suspension. That's probably gonna wreck your car. Alright, so go. I really should try to make sure I remember what the names of the corners here at Brands Hatch are, because they all have names and I can't remember what they are. I'm sorry. I feel like I should know these things. And you know, by the time I get to doing Project Cars, which by the way, that game just got a release date, so I have an idea of possibly when that LP might start, and when I would probably want Grid to end. But yeah, by the time Project Cars comes around, I really want to have a lot of this info in my head again.
You're leading. Hold on to it.
Plus, the good news is that Cars has Suzuka as one of the tracks, so I get to actually race that one and show you just how much fun it is. It's a great track. I'm really sad it's not in Grid Autosport here. I don't think it's even in here as DLC, which that's just, just makes me sad. I love that track. But I digress. I should really focus on the road ahead. Make sure I'm not below this because I'm in first, and I have a bit of a cushion. Yeah. So I can take this nice and smooth and not have to worry too much about the other guys catching me. So they can catch up to me a little bit here, but that's fine. He's still far enough back. I just itched my nose going down that straight. And I got this. So pretty easy win. Coming from the back of the pack.
Replaying that over and over. Great win.
I didn't set fast lap. Rick Scott didn't do very well though. Look at that, he's down in 11th place. A shame, Mr. Scott. You're 17 seconds behind me. Alright, get some more bonus points. 23,700. Cool. Next one is Indianapolis. Oh, I want to sing Back Home Again in Indiana. Something. I'm not Jim Neighbors. I can't sing that. Indy 500, which is basically what this is. This is the oval circuit, and you can see they got the balloons. Even the balloon release that they do before the 500 every year. I went there in 2012. It's pretty cool. I was kind of on the front stretch, so we're not even gonna go to practice for this. We're just gonna go to qualify because I know this one. I know this course back of my hand. Now, what's interesting about Indy? What's really interesting about it is that all the straights and all the corners are actually different. I wouldn't say different lengths, but they're different sizes and lengths of all the stretches. And that's because this track was originally built in, I think I want to say 1909. It was built in 1900s, back before they had, computers and stuff, so it was an inexact science. And not everything lines up. It looks like it lines up from the air, but they've actually done measurements, and they don't line up perfectly. So one of the other changes that was made is, I think this is the case, I think they changed it, was that there used to be a big apron down in the corners that you could run on. If you watch the old 500s, if you watch the old Indy 500s, you'll see cars, when they go down into one, they actually dive down onto the apron to get the fastest time, and they're going like crazy fast in those old races. Like they'll dive down here, they'll dive down right onto where the apron was. I think they got rid of that at some point, if I remember correctly. I'm still in first. And speeds, what's cool too is that the speeds that I'm going in the car here seem to be about what the speeds were in the actual 500 qualifying, so about 230. The cars are much faster now than they used to be. And normally I would want to kind of come near the wall here. And I'm on pole. Now sadly it won't be 3-wide racing like you would normally see at Indy for the starts and whatnot. But we will have a rolling start, which is definitely helpful. and I actually didn't beat him by that much time. Alright, so I was actually sitting right about here-ish, right near the start-finish line. And I do like that the start-finish line box, the flagman's box, is actually been put into the game how it looks at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is a nice touch. They didn't really have to do that, perhaps, but they would have caught flack. Now, off to the right here, as we go past those stands, that's the Brickyard Crossing golf course. Now, the golf course, I think, used to be a full 18-hole golf course. I don't think it is anymore. I think they got rid of some of the holes, and it used to go through the infield. But when they put the infield course in there, when they put the infield course that they use for MotoGP, and they used to use for F1, and now they use for IndyCar for the Grand Prix of Indianapolis, I think they got rid of some of the holes for the golf course. Now the big barriers you see here they have up are actually blocking the kind of where pit road is. Like you see the barriers there, that's pit road right there. And there's the pagoda on the left and the scoring pylon up here. And there's the water tower. Actually, that's pretty cool. You can see downtown Indianapolis off there to the southeast, which would actually be where it is, because Speedway is in the northwest of downtown Indianapolis. But down there is, you see, that's where when you're in trouble, you pull down off onto that area to pull out of the racing line. But when you're coming in for the pits, you just would like pull in right there. There's the commit line, and the barrier. It's been hit a few times.
You've just gone past the halfway stage of the race.
And that's pit exits, and then when you come out of pit exit, you actually come all the way around to the backstretch, and this is where you merge in, where all those cones are. That's actually where you merge in. It's pretty cool. You actually get to see it live, because you can't actually see the entire track from your seat. It's not like some of the other tracks of the NASCAR, and IndyCar circuits, where you can see everything because of the stands over there. You can't see all the way across, and because of the very large size of the track and the fact that it's rather flat compared to, say, a Talladega or a Daytona, tracks of similar length in that 2.5-3 mile range. So you can't actually see the entire track. My seats I could only see from about the north chute, which is short. This area right here. This is the north chute between 3 and 4, and then you come down the front stretch, and I can see all of this going down into turn 1 and like the beginning of the south chute. Is all I could see from my seat. It's not a fun day, because it was. I talked about this in my one of my really early NeoCraft videos. I think it was like episode 4 or 5. I talked about going there, and it was the hottest 500 on record. It's about 95 degrees. The heat index was probably close to 100, and the sun was out. It was fun, but having sat through that, I would probably never sit through a race that hot again. I would go back, and I do plan on going back at some point here, but I would definitely not go if it was, well, maybe I would go if it was that hot, because I probably bought tickets. The tickets are not cheap for the 500. They're about $75, $80 to start, and they go up from there, obviously. But, yeah, if I go back, I'm going to get like a gasoline alley pass and all that extra stuff, so I can go down there. I'll maybe go down for like qualifying carburetor day, and Well, they really don't have carburetor day anymore, so I don't think they really have carburetors. It's a name. It's a name for a thing, okay? Whatever. But, oh, there we go. I won.
Replaying that over and over. Great win.
Nice.
You don't get closer than that. That's a win.
That's pretty close. That would actually be one of the closer finishes in Indy history. 14/100ths of a second is pretty close. I got 37 points up on Rick Scott, and one race to go. So he's got to win. Oh, if I'm 37 up, that means I win, which is great. So get all the bonus points for that. We got one race to go. Event 5 of 5. You know what this is? It's at Pong in Malaysia in reverse. This is going to be interesting. I will be right back. Well, this should be interesting. It's a very tough track to run backwards because I'm used to running it the opposite way, and all my braking timings and whatnot are kind of thrown off a little bit. Alright, that's a pretty good lap. Just hope time-wise it'll be competitive. 1.3 could have been better.
Lap 1 and you've set the fastest time.
Yes, perfect. I probably beat it. Okay. Did I say my first lap was a 140 flat? Really? Really? That's pretty damn good. Come on. Fast lap. Yes. Nice. Whew. Okay. Ooh, Rick Scott did run a good lap there at the end, but too little too late. Can't beat me, guys. Alright. Alright, here we go. Rolling start. Rick Scott on the inside. My teammate in 16th.
Keep this form going.
Can't let him outbrake me here. He's gonna try and do it. Yep. I knew he was gonna do that. Like he's gonna try and outbrake me here on the inside. Clever girl. And guess what, Mr. Scott 2 can play at that game. Ha ha ha! Oh. And he went past me. Alright, that's fine. It's fine. Don't panic. Don't picnic. Don't look back in anger. No, I'm just quoting things. Whoop. Get out of the way. Teammates in 14th. Good. There we go. Nice job. There we go. Running on the curb. And brake. Oh. Ooh, that was close. I almost went into the wall. Whew. Alright. So we got 4 laps of this. Now this is going to be tricky. This is a tricky enough corner when you're going the right way around the track. Because it tightens. It's got a tightening radius. So this time it's got an opening radius. But it's still pretty tricky because you can't really go too fast through it. And lap 1. And first. Start the brake. go, around the big old hairpin. Not too bad. Let's make sure I have to brake here. There we go. About 2-second lead. It's acceptable. Let's see if we can stretch that out here. A little bit wide there. It's not very good. You want to make sure you hit the apex on these corners. That's fine because I can just hold on to it and get back on the track. So after we do this course, and after we finish this cup, we have one more endurance race to do. And I don't know which one we're going to do. We're going to do a short one because we don't need a lot of points. We might go back and do that one that we did before. I might even do it off camera. Just because, to be honest, all I'm going to be doing is grinding for points. So I can do it possibly off camera here. And we'll see if we can't get ourselves set up to be in position for doing all of the ultimate cups next for each of the disciplines. And that will be the last thing we have to do, the last thing we have to beat before we can get to the Legends Cup. Or I think that's what it is, the Legends Series, which is the last thing in the game that we need to do to actually beat the game. So we're getting very close to the end here, guys. We're almost done with the game. Now the only problem is all 6 of those cups. There's going to be 6 cups, one for each discipline, and the Legends one. They are very long. We're going to be looking at maybe 4 or 5 long episodes for each of them. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to handle that. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do something where maybe I don't really do qualifying for those anymore, just because at this point the qualifying is nice, but it doesn't really, it just adds to the content. And really we want to try and cram as many races into an episode as we can, because it's otherwise going to be taking us weeks to get this done. And we got Project Cars coming up in March, we got other stuff I want to do, so I want to get through this in a reasonable amount of time. And what were you doing there? What were you doing there? Mr. Scott? You shouldn't be sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. But I want to try and possibly cut back or maybe even cut out the qualifying portions if it's not relevant. Because I think that would really be helpful. Well, at least the ones that we have to qualify for, which are everything except street. And I've already started to kind of do that with the tuner stuff. When I have to qualify for drift events, I usually tend to not show them as much of them as I used to. But considering how much we want to get through, I kind of feel like it would be best to do that, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like I'm kind of giving you guys less of an experience, because qualifying is just as important to the actual race as the actual race itself. You want to get yourself in a good position and everything. So I'm gonna I keep doing that thing I do where I do like a sound. It's really annoying. I'm sorry about that. It's a pet peeve I can work out with my audio. But I don't know, maybe I'll take a look and see what other people who've Let's Played this game have done to facilitate making their episodes more compact. Because I feel like that's the problem, is the reason we're at so many episodes is because, obviously I try to incorporate as much of the actual gameplay footage in as I can. and that makes episodes longer, and I have to make more cuts and everything else. Oh, by the way, we're gonna win this. We're gonna win every event in this cup, so yeah, I'll have to figure that out. I'll take a look at some things and see how they work.
Nice way to close out the season and hit your team
I got
target.
the fast lap too. Nice. So team target, get a bunch of points. We're almost level 9. End of season 22.
Your team have got a lot to thank you for. What a season.
So, yeah.
That is how you compete at the highest level.
Damn right, lady. Damn right. So we're about 3/4 of the way level 9. That's a nice first and a first. And must be 500,000. Must be the level 9. Because that's the only thing that makes sense for it to be that close and not be over. Alright, so that was a question I actually had just in my head. I was like, where's the level that you have to get to? What's the XP level you have to get to for level 9?
The next Grid Championship event is now
So, yes.
open to you. Winning there will reinforce your
So we've got
reputation as one of the
Ultimates.
best racers on the scene.
Ultimate touring car. Got Ultimate Endurance, which we don't have yet. But we do have World Endurance Series.
You've got an offer from Cusco Racing off the back of last
Okutama,
season.
ugh.
Looks like one to consider.
Circuit of the Americas. I do not. It's short, but I don't like that. I don't like the Okutama. Especially in
Last season
cars
was
that
one of your
fast.
best yet.
Circuit of the
Forge
Americas.
Motorsport
Spa.
think the same too. Check out their offer.
Mazdas. Ooh, the Mazda 77B. Yeah, Cup Race. That's kind of long though. That's the problem. That's going to be a 4-race series.
Getting to this
And
level
open
in
wheel,
open
we've
wheel
got
is an Oakley Motorsport
the,
a promising team with a great offer
look
for
at
you.
that. See, this is
So
what
consider it.
the big races have, are these long cups. So I've got Indy, Spa. I've got 10 races in my discipline, and then I've got 2 cup races as well. So that's a lot to go through. And obviously tuner, we've got the super modified World
Do well
Masters.
for one team and others start to notice. Monster Energy Racing are after a good result
Yep.
this season, so
I
have a
know.
look at what they want
So how
from you.
many? What do I have here as far as drifts and stuff go? I've got 1 drift, a time attack, a race, a drift, time attack, race, time attack, drift, race. I've got 4 drifts, like 4 time attacks and 3 races. It's crazy. And then street, it's just gonna be straight up race.
You just had a
Supercar
fantastic season. It's
World
not gone unnoticed.
Championship.
Team Kicker are a serious team with
130,000
a
points.
serious
That's a
offer for
lot.
you.
So Viper, Barcelona, Cup with the McLaren F1s, and then got the Vipers and the Paganis and the McLarens. It's 12 races. That's a lot of races. This is a lot of work to do, guys. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And we're gonna figure out how we're gonna set this up next time. Actually, not next time. I'm gonna finish in between episodes, but next time we're gonna have a solution to whatever our problem is. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you around the track.